What's to the pack? It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
In today's video, I'm going into Twitter and seeing the NBA team's reaction to the 8th roster update of NBA 2K22. Usually NBA teams' Twitter accounts will go to like the roster update and like react to their favorite players and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna do in today's video. Before the video starts, if you like any kind of content when it comes to ratings, changes, players, updates about NBA 2K22, please be an OG, join the pack and subscribe, and leave a like on the video so it helps the video grow. Let's get the video started with the first topic, and that is that DeJounte Murray being above Chris Middleton. I know we're starting off pretty aggressive, but let me explain what happens on the Spurs Twitter. They go, DJ going up just in time for the NBA All-Star Weekend. He was an 86 going to an 87 overall. So DeJounte is pretty high. This is the highest he'd ever been, and only DeMar DeRozan was even remotely this high for the past like 5 years, right? So Kluge says, should be an 89 to a 90, but cool, I guess. And at first I thought, man, it's kind of high for a team that barely isn't going to make the playoffs. But then I really thought about it. Let's go into DeJounte Murray's stats because let's put into perspective how good they have been. In the last 10 games, and this is actually pretty damn impressive, DeJounte Murray's been averaging 23 points per game, 11 assists, which is one of the best in the NBA, and 8 rebounds on 50% from the field. I gotta be honest with you, who else in the NBA is putting up those numbers? Like, besides LeBron James? I know what I just said. Who else? Those are really, really good numbers. On top of that, he's averaging 2.3 steals per game and is one of the best perimeter defenders in basketball. That's like ridiculously good. I will say, and the argument can always be made, you're not on a good team and you're putting up empty stats. However, he's doing this on offense and defense, and the Spurs are still technically doing okay. Like in the last 10 games, I think they're 5-5. They could still make the playing game. So I think DeJounte, dead ass. Like if this team was even remotely better, let's say they were the 7th seed, DeJounte is like an 89 overall. So I think Kluge is right. That's my personal opinion, right? But I mean, obviously it's a little biased, right? But then this guy on the Milwaukee Bucks, because you know Chris Middleton got a +1, he was an 86 overall for the All-Star break, and Bando says, so DeJounte Murray is better than Chris? This game sucks, and it got 3 likes. Okay, so the question is DeJounte Murray better than Chris Middleton? There's a lot of things we can start off with. Let's start off with the obvious thing. Chris Middleton was the 2nd option on an NBA championship team, right? No doubt that Chris Middleton is cracked at basketball, duh. And I guarantee you his stats are looking really, really good as a 2nd option on a team right now, instead of DeJounte being the number 1 option. In the last 10 games, Chris Middleton's been averaging 17 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds on 41% from the field. Now, when I put it that simple, DeJounte Murray is way, way, way better than Chris Middleton. But again, Chris Middleton is not even the number 1 option like DeJounte Murray is. So obviously the stats aren't going to be comparable. But here's the thing. Chris Middleton is better than DeJounte, I'd say, at shooting, right? DeJounte is a way better playmaker, a better rebounder, a better defender, to be honest with you. Chris Middleton's not a bad defender, but DeJounte Murray's better. So, and he's a better athlete, right? More athletic than Chris Middleton. So that's a bunch of things I just mentioned that he is better than Chris Middleton as. Therefore, I would say that DeJounte Murray is flat out better than Chris Middleton. I'd say that. Now, the next conversation will be a short one. It's about Andrew Wiggins. Now, he went +2 from an 83 to an 85 for the All-Star break. Now, we'd all agreed for a while that Wiggins should have been an 85 for the whole year because he was the 2nd leading scorer on the Warriors, and they were like the 2nd team in the West, right? So Wiggins absolutely deserves this rating because not only for scoring wise, but one of the better defenders in basketball. Absolutely. But then Klay Thompson came back, and obviously Wiggins' numbers came down. So Kaga says, what? He's averaging barely 14 points in the last 7 games. But Kaga, again, doesn't understand that Wiggins isn't the number 2 option anymore. In fact, he's barely the number 3 option when Poole also gets buckets. So just because his numbers go down, I've always said this. A player's rating shouldn't go down based off numbers, because a great example with the Warriors is that Wiggins is an 85. Just because you add Klay Thompson to the team doesn't mean he goes down because his usage went down. That's not how that works. So I disagree with Kaga there. Now, this one is for DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls. He goes +1 to a 91 overall. When this rating dropped, I was like, that's a really great rating for DeMar. I mean, a 91 overall, that's really impressive. But then 6'7", 11 inches. Okay. Says 2K developers don't watch basketball. And people are pretty upset about it. And this is why they're mad. And I'm kind of starting to get it. The Bulls are the #1 team tied in the East, right? DeMar DeRozan is putting up MVP numbers of 27 points per game on good efficiency. I won't even pull it up because I know that, right? DeMar's been fantastic all year. He's been leading the Bulls. I would say he has been the best player, even above LaVine. At first I thought it was LaVine, but DeMar is the better player now. And yet, he's only a 91 overall when Joel Embiid's a 96 and Giannis is a 97, and they're the two MVP candidates. DeMar's been an MVP candidate as well, and he's only a 91. This is the same thing I said about Joel Embiid last year when he was an MVP candidate for a little bit, and he was like a 92 overall, and I was like, why is he not a 95? And look at him now, he's a 96. So if that's the case, DeMar should be pretty damn higher. I feel like he's a 93 because DeMar's defense is a little bit lacking compared to Giannis and Joel Embiid, who are great defenders. So that's how I feel, but let me know what you think his rating should be in the comments below. Final thing is Trae Young having a lower rating than Luka. So Luka went +1 to a 95 overall. Trae Young went down to a 90 overall -1. So Cam says, if Hawks won the trade, then why is Luka 5 overalls above Trae? And this actually started some people getting pretty upset. This guy was like, it's a video game, bruh. You guys have no idea what basketball is, and trash talking people, right? But let's think about this for a moment. Trae Young is great at basketball. I'm not trying to diss on Trae Young. He's fantastic. He's one of the better shooters in the NBA. And he knows how to lead an offense, and he also destroyed the Knicks last season, and I'm not allowed to say anything bad about him. Sure, whatever. But Luka Doncic is better than Trae Young. That fact number one. You know why he's better than Trae Young? Because Luka Doncic is doing way more with way less. That's a fact. That is a fact of life. Luka Doncic is what? They're 6th in the West or 5th in the West? And he lost Porzingis, and Porzingis has been like out half the year. Who the hell is almost on that team? Brunson? So and Luka Doncic is averaging like 40 points in the last 10 games. So no, Luka Doncic is playing out of his mind. He has no help. I'm gonna keep it real, and is still one of the better teams in the West. While Trae Young's team is Struggle City, even though they've been playing better, they're still Struggle City and have way more talent. And Trae Young isn't succeeding. So yes, is he putting up 30 points a game? Sure. We know he can do that, but is he winning? That's all. Winning matters in this world. I'm gonna keep repeating that to you. Winning is everything, and Luka Doncic does it better than Trae Young, even though Trae Young has made a conference finals instead of Luka. But we're talking about this season, so ignore that. This season, Luka Doncic has proven that he's a better player than Trae Young. I think that. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. If you like the channel, please give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.